Welcome back, everybody. My name is Brandon Baker from Black Dog Barbecue, and today I'm teaming up with Charbroil Grills to show you how to make a Cajun turkey in their new and improved Big Easy outdoor air fryer. Let's check it out. Making a great turkey can be broken down into three phases. You've got the selection process, the preparation process, and then the cooking process itself. When it comes to the selection process, you want to make sure that you're choosing a turkey that's under 16 pounds because those over 16 pounds do tend to be male varieties. The male varieties do tend to be a little bit leaner, which also lends itself to being a little bit tougher meat. Now, if you're preparing for a larger crowd, what I would recommend if you need more than 16 pounds of turkey is I would just go ahead and get two, maybe get two 12-pound turkeys. That would be perfect. That way you can make enough food for everyone else, but make sure you're getting the best quality product for you and your guests. The second step of the turkey selection process is to make sure you're choosing a turkey that's plain. You don't want there to be any antibiotics, any pre-bastings, or any enhancements added. Typically, some companies will go ahead and add salt to a lot of turkeys for the preservation process and then to act as the brine that they're already creating. Personally, I like to brine my turkeys myself. That way I can do whatever flavor combination I would like, and I'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. Now, in my opinion, the preparation phase of making a turkey is the most important part of cooking a perfect and juicy bird. When I'm talking about the preparation phase, really what I'm talking about is brining your turkey. You can do this in a wet brine, you can do it in a dry brine, or you can do a combination of the two to really maximize the flavor and make the most crispy skin possible. Now, over the next couple of days, we're going to be doing a combination of wet brining and then dry brining the turkey. And before I talk about the process of how we'll be doing that, let's talk a little bit about what a wet and a dry brine are. Your wet brine is going to start at its base with a combination of about a gallon of water per half a cup of salt. Now, you can add other seasonings in there, you can add herbs in there to add other flavors. I recommend doing so, and I will be doing so today. But at its base, you want to use that measurement as a starting point with that 1 gallon of water and half a cup of salt. Depending on what you're cooking, so for instance, today we're doing a turkey, you're probably going to need more than that. So I'll probably do 2 gallons of liquid and a full cup of salt. Now, dry brining is very simple. It is just the process of adding salt on top of a piece of meat. You're gonna do so liberally, and what that does, whether it's a wet brine or whether it is a dry brine, A, it's gonna help to tenderize the meat, and B, it's gonna help that salt penetrate all the way down into the meat so that you can have more layers of flavor. So a general rule of wet brining is you wanna brine that meat for about an hour per pound. Today I picked up about a 15-pound turkey, so I'm gonna let this brine for quite a while. So I'll probably put this in the fridge overnight and then come back to it tomorrow to continue the preparation phase. Once that's done, my best recommendation to do, if you do have the time, is to take that turkey out of the wet brine the next day, put it on a wire rack in your fridge, and let that sit until it starts to dry. Generally about a day. Now, I will say today I'm going to reduce that step just for the sake of time. So I'll let the turkey sit in the refrigerator for somewhere between about 4 and 8 hours. Then I'll make sure that I pat it dry really well with a paper towel. And what that's going to do is really allow the outside skin of that turkey to get crispier, which is what everybody wants for their turkey. Now, for the wet brine that I'll be creating today, I'm going to stick with the fall theme. So it's going to be an apple cider based brine. So besides the salt, water, and apple cider that we'll be using, I'll be throwing in some aromatics as well as some lemons, some onions, and some seasonings too. Now, today I'll be preparing the wet brine in really 2 phases so you guys can see a little bit more into that process. So what you're going to do when you're preparing that brine is you want to put both your liquids and then your salt, and if you have any sugars, you want to add all of that to a pot over heat. That way, all of the salts and the sugars can dissolve. You let that cool, and then you add in your aromatics and anything else that you're going to be throwing in there. So I'm going to be cooking just a sample size in a pot so you guys can see that process. It's very quick and it's very easy. And then I'll make the rest of the brine on the side so we can use that for our bird. Now, the last step of the preparation phase for your turkey is going to be to add butter underneath the skin. To me, this is optional. You can definitely do this. It does add flavor. Today, I will be transparent. I will not be doing that step, and I think that we're still gonna have an awesome end product. Now, lastly, let's talk about the cooking phase. You can do this in a variety of different ways. I've deep fried a turkey. I've done your traditional roasting method before. I've smoked turkeys, but today I'm actually gonna be trying something new that I haven't done before. So today, I've got Charbroil's new, the Big Easy outdoor air fryer, and I'm gonna be using that to prepare our turkey today. But when you're thinking about an air fryer, how beneficial is that in your day-to-day use? I use it all the time inside, whether I'm making food for our kids or whatever it might be, just a quick and easy meal. So being able to take that outside and prepare a larger cut of meat, I think is very beneficial. Now, there's a few key benefits that I'm really looking forward to testing out with this air fryer method. Number one, if you think about deep frying a traditional turkey, how many gallons do you have to use? A lot of times it's between about 2 and 3 gallons of peanut oil that you typically use to prepare a turkey, which is number one, expensive. You're looking at about $40 to get that much oil. And 2, that takes a long time to heat up. With this product, you're just totally skipping that step. You'll put the oil on the outside of the bird itself, and that's about it. So with this product, the general rule of thumb is you're gonna be cooking the piece of meat for about 10 minutes per pound. So since this turkey is about 15 pounds, we're looking at about 150 minutes. So about 2.5 hours roughly is what I'm estimating for this cook. Now again, for this step, I'm gonna be making a smaller version of the same brine that I'm gonna be making in bulk for the actual turkey. But I want you guys to see this step because A, it's important, and B, it's also extremely easy to do. 3 minutes later, the base of the brine is already done, and it is literally that simple. Now I just turn the heat off, and I'm gonna add in the rest of my ingredients and set that aside. We've added in the rest of our ingredients, so now I'm just gonna let this sit until it's cool to room temperature, make a bigger batch like I mentioned, and dunk that turkey in. All right, as you can see, I have made a stock pot full of brine, and we've got about 2 gallons of liquid in here, not to mention all of the other ingredients and the aromatics that we added. And so now the only other step to do, because this is now cooled, is we're gonna add in our turkey. Here we go. Get that fully submerged in there and we'll be good. Time to put the turkey in the fridge overnight and we'll be back to check on it tomorrow. All right, so our turkey spent the night in that wet brine that we created yesterday. So now that it's been in there for several hours, I'm gonna take the turkey out, throw it on a wire rack, and throw that back into the refrigerator so that skin can start to dry out a little bit. Jesus, that smells good. Gonna get some of that excess liquid out of there real quick. So, 2 things to note before I throw this in the fridge. Number 1, we're gonna put the turkey on the wire rack, breast side up, because that's where most of the meat that you're gonna be eating is gonna be coming from. So just by the process of gravity, when we're thinking about getting rid of that excess moisture or excess liquid, we want that to run down. Secondly, in case you were wondering why I'm using a wire rack, I know I've mentioned it a few times, I find it to be extremely beneficial because you've got that airflow underneath the turkey, but also because of the fact that as that liquid pulls down, the turkey is going to be above that. So it's not going to be sitting in any excess moisture, which helps again to dry out that skin more. All right, now that I've mentioned that, we're going to get this turkey back into the fridge and let that skin start to dry out. All right, so I just took the turkey out of the fridge. I did have a little bit of a change of plans. I decided to let that turkey sit in the refrigerator overnight. So what I'm gonna do right now is just take a paper towel and make sure just to pat this entire turkey dry to make sure there's no other excess liquid before I season it up. I wanna make sure you're getting all the cracks and crevices. All right, let's stand them up. As you can imagine, this underside is where the majority of that liquid is gonna be, just with all the liquid flowing down while it was sitting in the fridge. So we'll make sure to give this an extra good pat on the side. Lastly, don't forget about the cavity. This is most likely gonna be where the majority of that liquid is residing with any that's left. All right, so we just patted this turkey dry and got as much of that excess liquid that would still remain out as possible. And if you remember at the beginning, I mentioned doing a combination of a wet brine and a dry brine. And really that's an exaggerated dry brine and what I'm talking about with this stage of the turkey. Since we let this turkey sit in the fridge overnight, that skin's already drying out a pretty good bit. So at this point, we're just going to season it up today and let it sit outside for about 15-20 minutes so that rub can adhere. Really just giving this turkey a good season and letting that seasoning take out the remaining excess moisture. Today, I'm gonna use Creole seasoning to give this turkey a bit of a Cajun twist. I think that's gonna go really well, seeing as the wet brine that we used is more on the sweeter side. So that combination of that salty spiciness that you get from that Cajun seasoning, I think is gonna play really well in combination with the wet brine that we used, which is penetrated into the meat. I think it's gonna be an awesome combination. First things first, let's oil up the bird. We're gonna season this baby up. Don't forget to get in the legs. We tend to forget about that. Let's go over, hit the sides. All right, that turkey's good to go and we can throw this in the Big Easy air fryer. All right, so I just dropped the turkey in, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cook this for around 2 hours, right? So about every 30 minutes, I'm gonna come back and check on the turkey, make sure the legs, make sure the wings don't start to burn so that I can adjust for that if I need to. And just as a refresher, when we're talking about turkey, we're trying to get it to an internal temperature of 165 degrees is that end point. But in reality, what that is you wanna cook it to around 160 degrees, pull it out and let carryover cooking take it the final way for that extra 5 degrees. So at this point, we're just gonna let this turkey cook for a little bit and I'll be back in about 30-45 minutes to check on it and we'll go from there. All right, we're about 1 hour in and this turkey still has a long way to go. It's registering about 85 to 90 degrees depending on where I'm temping it at. So we're gonna put it back in and let it continue cooking. All right, it's been about 3 hours now and it took a little bit longer to do this final check on the turkey than I anticipated. Was dealing with some wind issues and thus it took a little bit longer to cook. That being said, the turkey has finally hit about 160 degrees, 162 degrees. So I'm gonna pull this now, show it to you guys, and then let it sit for a little bit so it can cool off before we carve it up. That is a good looking bird. All right guys, so I've just pulled the turkey out of the air fryer and I've let it sit for about 20 minutes now. Ideally, I'd let this rest a little bit longer, but it's getting close to dinner time here at the house, so I'm gonna go ahead and carve this up here in a second. But before I do that, just to rehash the whole process of making this turkey, we wet brined it overnight with that apple cider based brine. We then let it sit in the refrigerator for a night to dry, and then the next day we hit it with a Cajun seasoning rub. The cooking process did take a little bit longer than I was anticipating just because of the fact I was dealing with some heavy winds today, as well as keeping that temperature low because I wanted to play it safe and make sure that I didn't overcook the outside of this turkey. That being said, the all-around time for this turkey took about 3.5 hours in the outdoor air fryer. So now that I've recapped that, I'm gonna go ahead and carve this turkey up and dig in. When you're carving up a turkey, there is a process that'll make your life easier. And what you wanna do is start by taking off both the wings and then the legs as well. After you do that, you'll detach the breast so that you can cut that into individual slices. I'm just gonna take my knife all the way down until I can find the joint. It'll take a second to do that, and then you will just simply detach the joint from the rest of the turkey. I will go ahead and get this wing while we are over here. Same process. There we go. This looks delicious. Can't wait to bite into that leg. And we'll get this. Let's get these over here. That's what we're looking for. All right, let's give this a try. It's pretty good. Not mad about that one bit. You can definitely taste the sweetness on from that wet brine that we put on a few days ago. The combination of that plus that exterior seasoning with the Creole seasoning is a really nice play on each other. It's a great combination. You know what I'm gonna be having for the next few days. And that concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed following along as much as I enjoyed making this meal. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button to follow along with more great recipes and content that we have coming up on the channel. And until next time, happy grilling.